Alright, mga kaibigan, sagot na po yung isang tanong about Danny Seigle. He is starting for San Miguel with Marcelo, Tiveros, Pena, and Noble. For Red Bull, it's Cruz, Baguio, Villanueva, Alvarez, and Bugia. First possession to San Miguel Beer, Danny Seigle against Rich Alvarez. Quick jumper is no good. He gets it back off the glass. Scored by Danny Seigle for San Miguel.
Well, Danny Seigle is supposed to have back spasms. He looked pretty good on that first play. So went up for that rebound.
Probably not feeling it at the moment. Here's Cyrus Baguio. He also jump-started the offense for Red Bull last Friday, but this time he comes up with a traveling violation.
Well, the difference between Ginebra and San Miguel is that Dorian Pena is a very good defensive player. So the smaller guys for the Red Bull team are going to have a little bit more difficult time putting up big numbers in this series if Don's going to be guarding them.
All right, here is Olsen Rosana moving against Celino Cruz. Jumper is no good. Celino Cruz gets the rebound and brings it into the front court. Binigay kay Cyrus Baguio, dribbles off his foot. Napo ni Olsen Rosana. Humaharurot papunta sa front court. Tuloy-tuloy reverse layup is no good. Rebound contested by Celino Cruz and Dorian Pena. Last touch on Pena.
You can expect a lot more of Dorian Pena going to the offensive boards, one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. He is a double-double guy for the San Miguel Beermen.
Early adjustment here on the part of Coach Jong Wichico. Pinasok si Wesley Gonzalez for Mix Noble. And Rico getting away underneath the basket on a nice pivot move to even up matters here at 2-all. Wesley Gonzalez sees Dorian Pena inside. And Pena has certainly learned how to move well in that area.
It's going to be a tough matchup for Paulo Bugia, giving away a lot of weight and strength to Dorian Pena.
And you can be sure that Dorian Pena ay gagamitin niya yung bentahin niya yan as he steals. Dorian Pena with the steal, and he brings it up court, and the pass inside. Everything but the pass. 3-on-3. Cyrus Baguio trying to weed through traffic. Gets the ball taken away by Wesley Gonzalez. Here's Olsen Rosales with a ball fake. Missed on the reverse layup. Danny Seigle. Wala rin. Enrico Villanueva gets it over to Cyrus Baguio. Torrid pace here at the start of this game, Coach Norman.
Well, the crowd is definitely alive here at the Araneta Coliseum, and Red Bull did not trail the last two games against Ginebra.
Oh, yeah.
They're down by 2 points right now. Can you imagine that, going through 2 straight games without trailing by even 1 point?
That tells you how hot this Red Bull squad is. Of course, admittedly, Barangay Ginebra had a lack of personnel. They had several major players injured during that series. Celino Cruz. Mula sa pinalakas na TM, power to the people.
Look at the matchup here. Wesley Gonzalez being guarded by Enrico.
Yeah. And Gonzalez gets free for the jumper. Missed the shot, however. Here's Dorian Pena operating inside. And Celino Cruz picking up the loose ball. Sinalubong ni Wesley Gonzalez. Celino Cruz para ibigay kay Rico Villanueva against Danny Seigle. A turnaround jumper by Rico is no good. Dorian Pena had a piece of that rebound. However, Paulo Bugia stepped in and knocked it off his hands. Olsen Rosana. Danny Seigle against Rich Alvarez. That's the matchup. Lumalabas si Wesley Gonzalez, but Seigle decides to go on the move, and Rich Alvarez trying to keep step with him.
Well, Alvarez is out there for one reason, and that's to play defense. Remember, against Ginebra, it was Alvarez who was guarding Marco Giwa.
That's right.
And now his task is to try to slow down Danny Seigle.
And they swing it over to Don Tiveros. Wesley Gonzalez is open again. Couple of tries from beyond the three-point arc have not proven successful so far. Para kay Wesley Gonzalez. Enrico. And Dorian Pena takes care of the rebound. Narito ngayon si Wesley Gonzalez. Hands it back to Danny Seigle. Who's
Danny Seigle basically telling Alvarez, how high can you jump here? I think I can jump a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's just going to challenge him and just stay up in the air a little bit longer. Good pass there by Wesley Gonzalez.
And that will be the second personal foul on Rich Alvarez. And to make matters worse for Red Bull, Danny Seigle is given the bonus shot. Normally makes that. And he gets it back. For Danny S.
And once again, Dorian Pena kept that ball alive. So Paulo Bugia is using all of his strength just to keep Dorian Pena off the boards.
He's got to be a perfect physical condition to try and do that. At least half of the game. Rico Villanueva. Dinabas kay Celino Cruz. Cruz gets open and he throws it.
The reason why Coach Seigle starts Celino Cruz, Ed, is because he likes his offense. He thinks Celino is more aggressive offensively than Topex, and he really keeps the other point guard honest defensively.
That's right, you've got your hands full kung si Celino Cruz ang binabantayan mo because he can really hurt you. Wesley Gonzalez a little tentative here.
Rico's not showing him any respect, leaving him wide open.
Dorian Pena inside again, dominating. Presence is Dorian Pena. Just sa ilalim at sa harap ng ring. Cyrus Baguio. Here's Paulo Bugia to Rich Alvarez. Baguio at low post against Don Tiveros.
Right now we have so many cross matchups on the floor. Guys really have to communicate well to pick up their men because on one end you're guarding somebody, on the other end somebody else is guarding you. As you can see, Danny Seigle is actually picking up Paulo Bugia, but on the other end is Paulo Bugia guarding Dorian Pena.
That's correct. Dito naman sa Rico Villanueva against Dorian Pena. And it takes it strong inside. 4 points for Rico Villanueva. At ang ating score, 10-9, San Miguel by 1. Danny Seigle, napabalitang may back spasm. Alvarez staying on him.
That's dribbling.
Yeah. And he goes baseline, misses the shot. Narito si Cyrus Baguio. Inaasahan na pumutok ito ng maaga si Cyrus Baguio, which is what he did back in Game 5 when he scored 11 points in the first quarter. Rico Villanueva on a spin. Dorian Pena takes the blow. And the offensive foul on Enrico Villanueva, his first.
Coach Seigle was not too happy with that call. He thought Dorian Pena probably flopped on that play.
You can see the smile on the face of Dorian Pena after that call. And a tap out. Meron pang 16 seconds on the shot clock here for San Miguel, almost halfway through with the first quarter. Pagkita po natin, napakatindi po ng pacing niya. Dito po sa umpisa. Umpisa pa lang. Don Tiveros misses the jump shot. Loose ball. Picked up by Cyrus Baguio. It's a 4-on-1. Ito na, si Rico Villanueva. They really took advantage of that 4-on-1, getting Rico Villanueva to deliver the goods on a jump shot. And the pressure in the backcourt. Dorian Pena. They swing it over to Chris Calabio. Inabot ni Paulo Bugia. And they're going to call a foul. That's going to be number 2 on Paulo Bugia. Samantala, kanina lamang mga kaibigan, nakita po ninyo itong pasahan ng Red Bull on the 4-on-1. And Rico Villanueva coming up with that slam dunk. Magandang hapon po muli sa lahat ng ating mga manonood. Gabi na pala. Magandang gabi po sa buong Pilipinas. Chris Calagio nasa free throw line. And some niceties being exchanged there between Rico and Danny Seigle. As you look at the season MVP leaders.
Well, Enrico and Lordy Tagade was still the chance for an award in this conference, and no San Miguel Beer players there because they did not fare well in the first conference.
James Yap is on top of that list, and he really sizzled in that game earlier. Which,
despite the loss.
Yes. He was one of those responsible for bringing Pure Foods back. Rich Alvarez, galing sa labas. Dorian Pena has the leather now para sa San Miguel. Binigay kay Don Ontiveros. Ontiveros crosses the timeline. Binigay kay Olsen Rosella. Chris Caladio. Bigla tumira. Layo nito. And Dorian Pena trying to get the offensive board. Loses it to the baseline.
But he's really wearing out Paulo Bugia as he continues to get his hands on almost every basketball coming off that rim.
And of course, it could work both ways. Paulo Bugia is challenging every move of Dorian Pena inside. Kaya pwede rin mapagod si Dorian Pena dyan. Rico.
Might be the third foul.
Offensive foul number 21, Paulo Bugia.
Paulo Bugia.
His third.
Dire development for Red Bull as Paulo Bugia picks up foul number 3. One thing noticeable, however, Coach Norman, Rico Villanueva more aggressive in this game going to the basket. Ito na naman si Dorian Pena sa ilalim. Rico Villanueva and Paulo Bugia combined to stop him that time. Ito na si Selena Cruz. Selena Cruz looking inside. Dilabas kay Paulo Bugia. Bugia goes inside and draws the foul, which is exactly what he wanted to happen.
This is when you know you're getting ready to come out of the game. Just get the ball in your hand. Hopefully, it'll cause the coach to make you stay in the game, but I don't think it's going to happen here as Paulo Bugia will get 2 shots, and the Horta is waiting in the wings to score his table to replace him.
That will definitely delay the inevitable. Dorian Pena, however, picked up his first personal foul in that bit of action. And sends Paulo Bugia to the line. First one rattles out. Ibabalik na si Migs Noble para kay Dorian Pena, who has been working extra hard underneath the basket.
Well, one comment we should make about the pairings here in the semifinals. Both teams are actually really matched up well in this series and also in the series between Pure Foods and Alaska. Very good matchup.
Oh, yeah. Peter Martin, anong nadinig mo sa usapan ng Red Bull?
Thank you, Ed. Hindi, kanina nakakatabi ko si Assistant Coach Roel Naturata ng Red Bull Boracay, and he forecasts a win today because he believes the Beermen will come out rusty because of that long break, at hindi daw nakatulong yung status ng dalawang Dani na injured pa nga daw sila during the long break. And I asked them if they were tired. They said at least they think they're not tired because their players are still young and they use the full 12-man rotation. At na-compute ko na yung kanilang age, 26.4 ang average age ng Red Bull. Ang San Miguel Beermen naman 28.3 na ang average age nito. Back to you guys.
All right, samantala, Cyrus Baguio biglang pumarot, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Cyrus Baguio.
Well, that move normally works for Cyrus Baguio, but that time he just ran over a couple of players and got called for the offensive foul. Look at that, as Ontiveros really took the blow.
He toppled at least 3 players there from San Miguel on his way to the hoop. Samantala, lamang ang San Miguel ng dalawa. Olsen Rosella trying to add on to that. Rico Villanueva para sa rebound. Binigay kay Salino Cruz into the front court. Salino off to Cyrus Baguio. They swing it over to Rico Villanueva. Over Migs Noble. Short on the try.
A very small team on the floor for San Miguel. What a pass
by Chris Caladio is blocked by Rico Villanueva. Here comes Salino Cruz. Napura yung magandang pasa ni Olsen Rosella. Sakling-sakling. Here's Rico Villanueva. Kuyog. And the open shot from Leo Horta. One of those players, Coach Norman, who has certainly gained a lot of confidence under the tutelage of Coach Yang Yao.
Well, a former MVP of the NCAA, so he knows how to play. There's no question about that from San Sebastian.
That's right.
And he's really picked it up here lately in the playoffs.
And Dondon Ontiveros trying to get into the act. However, missed the shot, and that ball bounced off the rim outside. So with 2 minutes and 29 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, we find the score tied at 14-all. There's that nifty pass by Olsen Rosella, only for Rico Villanueva to come up with a block on Migs Noble. Samantala, narito ngayon si Topex Robinson has come into the ball game. Blocked agad ni Brandon Cablay. Mix Noble, nalabas kay Danny Seigle. Seigle against Tahorda. Daming nakisaw-saw doon. Rich Alvarez had a hand on that. Rico Villanueva was there. Cyrus Baguio.
Well, despite his size, Cyrus Baguio gets at least one block per game, it seems.
Well, he is a high leaper.
Almost very similar to Samboy Lim before. Samboy would average about 1 or 2 blocks per game, despite the fact he's only a guard.
That's right. You never notice it, but it's there. Rich Alvarez para sa rebound. Binigay kay Cyrus Baguio off the Topex Robinson. Robinson looking inside. Nobody there. Nilabas kay Rico Villanueva. Back to Robinson. This is going to play. Para dito was a Red Bull.
The chin play. Whatever that is. Give the ball to Enrico.
That is Rico Villanueva trying to get inside. And that is sumalubong. And Topex Robinson goes up, but he is called for the traveling violation by referee
Dorian Pena for Mix Noble.
Short rest there for Dorian Pena, and he comes back in para kay Migs Noble.
Well, it looks like Red Bull is going to try to trap, full court trap against the Red Bull team, similar to what they did against the Ginebra club.
Yeah.
It caused Ginebra so many problems. San Miguel 8 offensive rebounds so far in the game. Red Bull none.
It's a testament to the excellent physical conditioning of the Red Bull players that they get to do that almost all game long. Of course, in spurts, sporadically. That right when the opposition is not expected.
It also helps too that Coach Yangao uses a lot of players in the game. San Miguel's really struggling right here from the outside, from the perimeter.
How about Leon Horda? At that time either. Dorian Pena again on the job. Less than a minute to go. It was out in first quarter. Brandon Cablay. Inabot kay Danny Seigle, and there's going to be an offensive foul as Cablay was unable to check his momentum there. Ran into Leon Horda.
Substitution Mick Penisi for Rico Villanueva.
A couple of substitutions here. Red Bull with only 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Pumasok na po si Mick Penisi. Ngayon din si Junti Valenzuela.
Looks like Mick Penisi has a different type of shaved beard tonight.
What shade is it? Oh, yeah.
A different look.
Yeah.
For Mick Penisi.
There's Leona Horda going baseline and steps on the line. Kalahating minuto na po nalalabi dito sa ating first quarter. Tabla pa rin tayo. We've been stuck at 14 all for quite some time now. Dorian Pena naipit.
So that defense works once again as the big man could not handle the basketball well. And the Red Bull, they call this press ear. They grab their ears and they go into the press.
All right, dito pa ngayon sa Topex Robinson. So watch it. Pagka hinawakan nila yung tenga nila, delikado ka na dyan. Ito sa Topex Robinson. To Cyrus Baguio. That's going to be a foul on Dorian Pena as he got Nick Penisi out of the way.
Pushing foul
He's trying to get
Dorian Pena.
Give a pick.
His second three on San Miguel.
Well, Danny I is still sitting on the bench. Dorian Pena cannot afford to get into foul trouble.
So he does have 2 personal fouls now. 9.6 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Still a tied ball game. Cyrus Baguio. Ginahuli yung pasok nun.
Still going to be Red Bull's ball headed. This is why I think Red Bull is going to be so tough in this series. Imagine Lodi Tagade has not played a single minute yet. It's a tied score. And you know he's averaging over 20 points per game.
So those are luxuries for Red Bull. Almost, but not quite.
There would be a difference between some of the players from Ginebra and Nando Ontiveros guarding you.
Oh, yeah.
The defensive level is just a little bit higher.
All right, umpisa po ito ng ating second quarter. Leon Horda, may tanga ng bola ngayon. Laban kay Migs Noble. And trying to use his speed against the bigger guy. He picks up the foul.
Well, the hold is a little bit deceiving because even though he only stands 6'3", he's quite strong.
14 seconds.
Cannot be pushed around. And he's much quicker than most big guys.
Yeah. Ito muli si Horda. Pinabas kay Junti Valenzuela. Junti getting around the defense, gets it inside to Topex Robinson. And the little guy scores underneath the basket. Figured that one out. right, 16-14, 2-point lead. Para sa Red Bull, Chris Calagio makes doble from top of the key. And nobody there for the rebound para sa San Miguel. Junti Valenzuela binababa ang bola para sa Red Bull. Sinalubong ni Chris Calagio. Valenzuela to Topex Robinson. Robinson signaling the play. Nick Pinisi top of the key. Laban kay Dorian Pena. Valenzuela has Calagio on him. Na Horda over Noble. Nothing there, and Pena grabs the rebound para sa San Miguel. Hablay, forward to Rosella. Valenzuela nagbabantay kay Olsen. And Calagio from the corner. Calagio saves it. And it's Lordy Tugade seeing action for the first time this evening para sa Red Bull. Junti Valenzuela overshoots that one. Ito, Olsen Rosella on the fly. Banggaan yung dalawang taga Red Bull. Napulot ni Olsen. Binigay kay Chris Calagio. Nick Pinisi trying to stop him. Natawagan ng foul.
Pushing foul number 7, Nick Pinisi.
Nick Pinisi picking up his first personal in the game.
Well, good hustle there by Austin Rosella to recover that basketball in that first quarter. Seigle Beer with 29 attempts to only 14 attempts for Red Bull, despite the fact they ended up 14 all at the end of the first quarter. The problem was San Miguel Beer shooting only 21%. They did have 9 offensive rebounds and they forced 9 turnovers on Red Bull, but just were not able to take advantage of it.
Kaya tabla tayo nung matapos po ang first quarter. A relatively low scoring one at 14 all.
Well, we have the 2 top shooting teams in the league in this series here. San Miguel being number 1 and Red Bull number 2. And it's just the reverse when it comes to three-point shooting. Red Bull's number 1 and San Miguel's number 2. So you know these guys can definitely put the ball in the hole.
I-expect ko natin na magkakaputukan dito. Ito na, Nick Pinisi. Nagsisahan na kaagad. Nasa pinalakas na TM, courtesy of Nick Pinisi. Power to the people.
And credit to Nick Tennessee, he seems to get better as the conferences go on. Towards the end, he just seems to be able to make his shots when they're really needed.
Nice spin move by Dorian Pena, but he was unable to control the basketball. Ayan na naman si Pinisi! Oh, not that time. A little too much juice on that shot. Brandon Cablay. Tumopwesto si Dorian Pena against Nick Pinisi. And Pinisi asking for help. Not that time. Pinisi will be called for the foul.
Well, Mick Pinisi was yelling at the ref all the way down the court on that last play. And remember, the ref has the last say.
Of course.
He has the whistle.
He who has the whistle.
Has the last say.
Dorian Pena, cross court to Brandon Cablay. Still and magawa si Mick Pinisi. He already has 2 personals. Quick pass to Topex Robinson. Jolens, wala. Olsen Rosella para sa rebound. San Miguel on the attack. Cablay, wide open. Yes! Isa na naman from TM Chris mula sa pinalakas na TM. Power to the people. Ang bilis nito. Rosella with a steal. And Valenzuela stops the action with that foul.
How confident is Austin Rosella in the shooting of Brandon Cablay? He made that pass to Brandon Cablay on the wing and then ran down the court.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to make it.
As if to say, okay, it's going to be a good shot, so I'll take care of business on the other end. And he did so. Ito si Dorian Pena. Ayan naman si Brandon Cablay. Not that time. Layo. Narito si Topex Robinson. That's the bounce pass and then na Honda balik-balik kay Topex down the middle. And it's a goaltending violation that's called by referee Herrera.
Topex Robinson.
Let's take a look at it again, see whether he got it on the way up. It was a close call there, but the referee deemed it was goaltending.
Ano siya, Danny Seigle. Down low to Pena, balik-balik kay Seigle for the open three. Offline, left it on.
2 straight 3-point air balls by the Beerman. One by Cablay, and this time by Danny Seigle.
Tabla po tayo sa 21. Second quarter action. Near steal by Danny Seigle. Now recovered ni Leon Horda. Binigay kay Lordy Tugade. Down low to Junti Valenzuela against Wesley Gonzalez. Junti, hindi makapasok sa baseline. Nilabas kay Nahorda. Nahorda, tinapikan ng Brandon Cablay. Nakuha pa rin ng Nahorda inside. Fall-away jumper is no good. Topex Robinson went high up with that rebound. That is Dorian Pena nakakuha. Here comes Olsen Rosella. Out to Wesley Gonzalez. Danny Seigle. Seigle goes up. Yes!
Nothing Nick Tennessee could do in that play. He's already picked up 2 fouls in this quarter.
Danny Seigle with 8 points so far. Oh, nice alley-oop play! Junti Valenzuela to Topex Robinson. Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Have you ever seen a little man in this league stay inside that paint more than Topex Robinson? He's always around the basket.
I just don't understand it. But it's there. We saw it. All right, Dorian Pena fouled again underneath the basket.
Number 15, Lordy
Tugado naman ang tinawagan ng foul. Ito, panoorin niyo yung pasa ni Junti Valenzuela. Sakling-sakli rin. Topex Robinson taking care of business. At binigyan po ng 2 points ang run ng tabla. Tabla ito, 23 all. Danny Seigle. Pulls up.
That's the hardest shot to make after making 2 pump fakes. You still have the legs to get that shot off.
And with all those arms flailing in front of you and over you, pumasok pa po yung tira ni Danny Seigle. Lamang na naman ang San Miguel ng dalawa, 25-23. Nasa second quarter tayo. Semi-final round na po tayo mga kaibigan. Best of 7 ito. Best of 7. This is game 1. Nick Peniso goes up, blocked. And Danny Seigle pulls out of it. Binigay kay Wesley Gonzalez. Wesley. Sinusundan ni Junti Valenzuela. Binigay kay Danny Seigle. Seigle against Nahorda. Baseline. Uh-oh.
That's the last thing Coach John Uchico wants to see is Danny Seigle on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
It is true he has back spasms. He does not want him hitting that floor as much as possible.
Yan po ang ulat na nakuha natin bago mag-umpisa yung laro rito. 2 players po ng San Miguel Beer ang mga may iniinda. Na-sprain daw po ang kanyang sakong. A couple of weeks ago, in a tune-up match, in a tune-up game, ito naman si Danny Seigle is reported to have back spasms.
Well, we said earlier that Danny I is taped, so he might play in this game, but so far he has not seen any action. And if there's really a problem with that ankle, I'm sure Coach John Uchico, if he does not have to use him, he will not use him. Might as well save him. This is going to be a long series.
Peter Martin did report that it is a second-degree sprain.
Severe sprain, yes.
6 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Lordy Tugade blocked by Dondon Ontiveros. Ontiveros into the front court. Balik kay Brandon Cablay to Wesley Gonzalez. And Danny Seigle goes up. And it goes up.
Well, Danny Seigle might not be the player you want to keep gambling against for steals, because once he gets that basketball, he's normally going to score. He's the second leading local scorer in the PBA.
Nice play to Mick Panisi inside. However, there was a foul before that shot. Meanwhile, shot block scoring parehong tigatlo. Ang Red Bull at San Miguel, 29-23. This is the biggest lead so far in the game. 6 na puntos sa kalamangan ng San Miguel Beer. We've got 6 minutes and 13 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Mick Panisi. Nilabas kay Junti Valenzuela. Valenzuela goes up for the jump shot. Yes. First 2 points for the boy from Bogo City. Ayong gabi ninyo diha sa Sugbo o sa lain pang mga lugar diha sa Kabisayan ng Mindanao. Ang inyong lagad, Ed Dixon, kawan na to. Si Norman Black o si Peter Martin. Danny Seigle from the outside. Lordy Tugade the rebound. Topex Robinson. A foul.
Well, Danny Seigle already with 14 points in the game, and what San Miguel's doing is they're using their small guys to screen for Danny Seigle, so when he comes off, he's shooting over a smaller guy.
That's what usually happens. Ito, injured daw ba? 14 points, 4 rebounds. That's Danny Seigle. Lordy Tugade. Topex Robinson. Humihit. Woo! Oh, what a move by Topex Robinson.
This kid has no problem getting to the rim.
Wow.
Oh, he's very athletic for his size.
All right, Peter Martin. Anong balita sa San Miguel?
Thank you. Si Coach Jong naman, he doesn't mind if their team can run, but they really want to keep the score low because they feel that this will favor their team. Of course, we all know that San Miguel Beermen are really deadly pagdating sa half court. Pagdating naman dito kay Danny Seigle, na in-injection pala siya kahapon to help suppress the contraction, pero once it starts contracting, it will be really difficult for him to play. Kaya naman pala from time to time, yung therapist has to check on his status. Daniel Defonso, he personally feels he's not gonna play in today's ball game. Back to you guys.
What about that three-point shot? Ni Lordy Tugade sa namang puting TM3 mula sa pinalakas na TM. Power to the people. Don Tiveros gets Tugade out of the way. Leon Ahorta para sa rebound. Binigay kay Topex Robinson. A couple of spectacular shots here by Red Bull. There's one more. Leon Ahorta with the left-handed Leon. Kanina si Topex Robinson. Sinundan ng off-balance three-point shot ni Lordy Tugade. And a nifty layup by Leon Ahorta. And now Red Bull is on top by 3. All right, Rosetta. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. One of the most reliable free throw shooters in the land. Lordy Tugade did not see action in the first quarter. Topex Robinson and the lead pass entry pass inside to Lordy Tugade. Difficult shot. Danny Seigle para sa rebound.
Once again, Cyrus Baguio and Lordy Tugade having a tough time against the defense of Don Don. But Don Don also has not been able to score.
Hang time by Danny Seigle. Off the glass. Wala. Larry Punisher in the game for the first time para sa Red Bull. Topex Robinson pushing it up. Offensive foul inside. Larry Punisher.
Offensive foul number 5, Topex Robinson.
No, Topex Robinson called for the offensive foul.
Substitution, Brandon Cabral.
Topex with a little bit of extra motion there. Looks like he might have got Calagio in the face.
Let's see what happened here.
There's Calagio right there. Actually, my gosh.
The elbow.
It's Austin Rosella who got it in the face. That was not a good foul there.
Yeah.
As Austin's going to feel that.
Officials timeout.
There's an official's timeout.
You just have to hope that nothing is broken.
It's taking an awful long time for Austin Rosella to get up. And a couple of doctors attending to him there. Might have got into the upper lip.
And they're also testing his nose. Looks to be okay.
Well,
At least from here.
Yeah.
Easy for us to say, right?
Yeah. The fact that he's up and about certainly is a good sign. And yeah, looks like the upper lip there.
Don Don Ontiveros for Olsen Rosella.
So they're sending in Don Ontiveros to spell
Celino Cruz for
Olsen
Topex
Rosella.
Robinson.
Sa kabila naman si Celino Cruz at pinasok for Topex Robinson.
That's actually a good substitution by Coach Shane Gobb, because after that elbow was thrown, you can bet the referees are going to be very tight on Topex.
Oh, yeah. But rather that the tension is veered away from Topex for the time being. Brandon Cabline to Danny Seigle. Off now to Chris Calagio. Calagio inside. Hip. Yeah.
Traveling.
Might be better the way you described it. He made a mistake.
Didn't mean to, but 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the second quarter. Celino Cruz, binigay kay Lordy Tugade. Tugade getting around Danny Seigle, binigay kay Celino Cruz. Celino Cruz, the mouse pass to Enrico Villanueva, out to Larry Punisher. Just momentarily open, that's all he needed.
That's one thing, the little guys, or I shouldn't say little guys, because Larry stands 6'2", but the guards of Red Bull can really make shots with people in their face.
Yeah. Dorian Pena, laban kay Mick Pinisi. Pinisi has 2 personal fouls.
Dorian Pena.
Couldn't really be more aggressive on defense against Dorian Pena, who scores. Pena now at 6 points in the game.
And the thing with Nick Pinisi is he probably has the most size to go up against Dorian Pena. Probably the best matchup size-wise.
Oh, nice passing play here, but Larry Punisher with nowhere to go. However, he picks up the foul.
Number 42, Danny Seigle.
Danny Seigle.
The 4th team foul for Seigle.
And only the first personal there for Danny Seigle. Red Bull on top by 1. Nasa kanila ang bola, Mick Pinisi. Looking around, finds Lordy Tugade. Laban kay Don Tiveros. Air ball for Lordy. Sabi nga natin, hindi po pinasok si Lordy Tugade in the first quarter. Here in the second quarter, he has managed a 3-point shot. And the lead of Red Bull is 1 point at 34-33.
2 minutes.
Danny Seigle na naman. Nice bounce pass to Dorian Pena. Alahoy na tira. Mick Pinisi para sa rebound. Binigay kay Selena Cruz. Selena Cruz into the front court. Pinabas kay Pinisi off to Larry Punisher. Inside to Rico Villanueva. Taking it strong against Danny Seigle and getting the second personal foul off Danny Seigle.
Aking foul number 42, Danny Seigle.
That's going to be 2 shots para kay Enrico Villanueva.
Well, that's what I was talking about, Kanina, when I was talking about cross matchups. Actually, it should be Dorian Pena guarding Enrico, but because he was underneath the basket with Mick Pinisi, who was guarding him, Danny Seigle ended up with Enrico on the other end of the court.
And had to give up that foul as he challenged the shot.
Danny Seigle, never known for his post defense, even though he has improved his defense quite a bit. Enrico misses the first.
Substitution, GT Valenzuela for Lordy Tugade.
Look at the matchups. It's really Danny Seigle guarding Mick Pinisi defensively, because Mick normally stays on the perimeter.
That's right. Samantala, Lordy Tugade back on the bench as GT Valenzuela has been sent in for him. At a time 1:41 remaining in the second period. It is still a 1-point lead by Red Bull at 34-33. Enrico Villanueva missed both free throws. Chris Calagio humihingi. Cross-court pass to Brandon Cablay. Danny Seigle. Back to Cablay for the open 3-pointer. Wala. Larry Punisher into the front court. Punisher pa rin. Back to Enrico Villanueva with a reverse layup.
A perfect example of a reverse layup going underneath the rim to protect the basketball.
And a big guy at that, moving in a very agile manner. Here's Dorian Pena. Ayan, sinasabi natin, si Dorian Pena pag nandun sa loob. At nakuha niya at the right time yung bola, mahirap nang pigilan yan.
Well, Dorian Pena already with 11 rebounds in this game. 8 points and 11 rebounds.
Like we said, he's a dominating presence inside the paint. Mick Pinisi tries his own, but he goes hop, and the traveling call is not contested.
Well, it is being contested by Coach Yangel on the sidelines.
45 seconds to go in the second quarter. Danny Seigle. Back to Cablay. Dorian Pena pumaposte na naman laban kay Mick Pinisi. Don Tiveros wide open. Wala. And Pinisi and Dorian Pena fighting for the loose ball. And Pinisi very smartly bounces it off the back of Dorian Pena.
We have 2 heavyweights going at it.
Oh, yeah.
Throw Enrico in there. You have 3 heavyweights on the court.
Well, there's not much happening in the heavyweight division of boxing, so this is a good option.
Sure, Danny I wants to be a part of this. He wants a piece of it, but
a one-hander by Rico Villanueva offline. Here comes Danny Seigle. And a timeout is going to be called here by San Miguel.
30-second timeout. San Miguel
With only 16 and a half seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Nasa San Miguel ang bola. Red Bull with a 1-point lead. Ito yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina, ang conference MVP leaders. Si Mark Kagiwa nangunguna dyan from Ginebra, pero ang problema, wala nang Ginebra. No, ha? Danny Seigle and Dorian Pena, number 3 and number 4. Number 5 is James Yap.
And James Yap's name was on both lists here in the conference.
Yes.
And also for the entire season. And right now, he is the front runner for that season MVP. And Kagiwa is going to fall behind because he will not have any more games.
That's right. Hindi na madadagdagan yung kanyang mga puntos dyan. And earlier, James Yap already made a move as he practically shot the lights out here at the Araneta Coliseum. But
the key is really going to be getting to the finals.
Oh, well, yeah.
Normally that MVP award goes to one of the two teams, a player from one of the two teams who makes it to the finals.
Played the most games. Narito si Dorian Pena. Hablay. Malakas. And Larry Fonacier, they still have a couple of seconds. Fonacier lets it fly. Nado malakas. And so, Red Bull will have to be content with a 1-point lead. Going into